What's going on, boys? So we did 9K cash collected today. You can see right here, we're not faking this. Go ahead and refresh this so you guys know it is absolutely real. What kind of guru is showing you their strike numbers with an agency right now? Is any guru still running an agency? The last time I checked, I had another coaching guy that coaches agency owners. He hit 100K once, and there's been a lot of those this year. And he just apparently sold his agency, which we all know he did not. I mean, when people they sold their agency and it's made like 40K a month, it basically means that they just like sold it off for like 10,000. Right. Not talking about a 7-figure exit. We're definitely not talking about multiple 7-figure exits. We're talking about like maybe a measly like 20,000, 30,000, and we're not in the game to do that. So let me go ahead and break down. So we did 9K today with our agency, not a coaching program, agency. We don't have a coaching program, no courses. Yesterday we did 7,000. You can see right here we have about 16K coming to our bank. Last 7 days with 28,000. So we sold actually last week we did 3 new clients. This week we've already closed 2, and we're on pace to do actually 6 new clients this week. So I told you guys the plan, right? The month of February. Go ahead and enlarge this. The month of February, the goal is to do 20 new clients and do 100K new cash. Now we're at about 18K in new cash, and it's the 11th of February. So we're a little bit down with number of closes, but once we get the 6 this week, which I really believe that we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you how, we're then gonna be close to a new client. So if we hit that goal of 10 new clients, we'll be on pace, right? Because let's say month of February, we have 2 full weeks. And then we finish off this, we're going to have 2 other full weeks, except for this one day on Saturday, which is fine. So we had 3 new clients this week. We're going to have 6 or 7. We're going to shoot for 7 so that we're on 10. So we're on pace to do 20. Again, the goal of February is to do 20. And then that's going to be, but the only issue right now is that we're at 4. We're at 5 right now. And we have to do 5 more, which I think we'll do. I think we're on pace. We're shooting a lot of re-offers. Now, the only thing is that our cash collected is down. So even though we're on pace to sign on as number of new clients, our cash collected, I think on average has been like 3,200. So we're trying to get that number up to 5, because if we have a 5, get some pay in fulls, that will be 20 new clients at a 5K cash average. So let's say the clients that we close here, we close 5 new clients here, and we close 5 here. If they can come in with some, a few pay in fulls, we're pitching, was it 9K up front? So we're pitching 9K up front for 3 months. We were doing 4 months, but we decided to bump that down to 3 months to get more pay in full. So that's 9K. And then that's going to, again, get us to our 100K in cash goal. I'll give you guys a rundown. Is that we have about 83K in recurring, it seems like, expected payments. So 83K, and we'll do about 100K in new cash. So somehow we got to come up with 17 more K to hit 200K in Feb, which I told you guys was the goal. And then 300K in March is the goal in cash collected. So I'll be 150K in new cash, 150K, and then this month will be 100K in new cash and 100K in recurring. 83K is projected, but then we have a little bit of paper show, so maybe like 85, 86, and then we'll have to come up with some more money in the future. All right, so we'll break that down. This is the calendar. I'm gonna block out the names obviously for you guys, but you can see right here, like not too many appointments. Tomorrow we have 1, 2, you can see all the greens, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 appointments. So if you guys want to scale an agency, first thing is, do you have enough appointments, right? These are all appointments. We have like 7 on Friday. We have about 4 on Tuesday. We had a little bit of no-shows. We're color coding on Google Calendar. And a big lesson for me is that we need to simplify the way that we're reporting, right? And I'll get into what that means and why that's so crucial. Yeah, again, 7 days, we did 28,000. The week before that, we did 40,000. So really, I mean, if you look at the past like 2 weeks, let's say, for example, let's go Tuesday, past 2 weeks. We did about 80K in the past 2 weeks, which is not bad. That's on pace to do 160, which will be our record month. We do like 180 will be our record month. But that's the numbers. That's what we're looking at right there. And then let's see. So that is, and then month to date, this is where we're at. So I'll show you guys month to date, 39,000, 20,000 the month before that. So 40,000 and kind of a third away there. So on pace to do 120, which is not, again, we're going to be picking up soon. So this is how I plan, and this is really how we 10x our profit, guys. Like literally 10x our profit, hit 100K net in our agency because of this philosophy. And so I'm going to break down exactly what this is, and I promise you, if you listen to this and you actually implement this, this is going to be some absolute sauce. So there's a really good book called 10x is easier than 2x. My favorite book by far in the entire business game. And the entire philosophy is that when you think 2x, right, you're basically, there's a lot of different pathways to optimize what you're doing, right? For example, if I said, hey, listen, instead of you going from 5, let's go for 10 new clients. Well, you could do a lot of things, right? You could do cold email to get an extra 5 new clients. You can do paid ads. You can do cold outreach. You can do cold calls. There's a lot of ways you can 2x the system. But if I said, hey, you're at 5 new clients right now, and this month I want you to get to 100K or 100 new clients, right? I wanted you to, or even 50 new clients. I want you to 10x the system. Would you be able to do it? And what that does is that it eliminates pathways. Will you be able to go from 5 new clients to 10 new clients with cold email? Probably not. Will you be able to go from 5 new clients to 50 new clients with cold calling? Probably not. You get my point, right? And you condense the time frame. So you 10x the goal. So let's say you 10x the number of new clients that you want to sign on, and then you shorten the time frame. And the reason why it's so important to eliminate pathways is that when you're scaling your business or your agency for this matter, you need to look at what are the one, two, maybe 3 things, but probably just one or 2 things that if I nailed down, I would be able to identify what the biggest constraint is. And so the biggest constraint is going to be the biggest thing that's holding you back from being able to see exponential growth, right? So for us to go from 100K to a million a month, do I know the key actions that I need to do that if I just do this 1 or 2 things, I'm going to be able to grow that much faster, right? It's going to be 10x. And so like that example of how do I go from 100K to a million a month in 3 months? Guess what? I'm not even thinking cold emails. I'm not, because I know it's going to be paid ads. I know that for me to get to 100K a month to a million a month, I have to crack paid ads. You guys get what I'm saying? I have to crack attention for us to get there, right? For us to hit sustainability, I know that if I wanted to get from, let's say, let's say 15% churn to 3% churn in less than 3 months, what would I have to do? Which one of my favorite quotes is that, are you optimizing for a thing that doesn't need to be optimized? I'll say that again. Are you optimizing for a thing that doesn't need to be optimized? A lot of people are trying to fix, the cold email system when cold email isn't going to be the thing that's going to scale them. Right? A lot of people are trying to optimize their cold DM strategy when cold DM strategy is not the biggest thing that you'd be working on. Right? You're trying to optimize. You're putting time and energy trying to fix things. That's not going to be the thing. It's not your 10x thing. And so I would much rather, if you're an agency owner, you focus on paid ads, you focus on marketing, copywriting, that is going to be exponential. That's going to allow you, if you work on that system, you put the same time and energy you put into that, to your cold emails and your cold DMs, you put it to paid ads and copywriting, guess what? Your return is going to be 10, 15, 20, 50x more than the same time that you try to figure out cold emails, cold DMs. You guys get what I'm saying? So that is important. Very, very important. Right. The key shift is not to be working harder. It's focusing on harder on what truly scales, right? Focusing harder, focus on 20% of activities that generates 80% of the revenues, and then double down on those. Spend more time, put more resources, put more time and energy. I'm moving our team's focus and time and energy based off of the constraint. I'm putting more bodies, I'm putting more people. I hired one of the best marketers that I know in my circle to work on the most important thing, which is going to be marketing. And I know that if he cracks the marketing, then we're gonna go like this, right? We're gonna go from 100K to 500K very, very, very fast. And we're already seeing this, right? We're already signing on a system, and our marketing's not even that dialed in. Like our cost per book call is like 400 something. It's high, but I know I'm putting time and energy, I'm putting focus into solving this bottleneck, and once I fix it, it's gonna unlock exponential growth because I'm focused on the right things. I could work 3 hours a day and get more done because I'm working on the right things. I'm not trying to work 12 hours, guys. I still put in 12 hours, and I've been putting in 12 hours for the past few months, or for really most of my life. But it's not about the hours. It's about the output. And the output is determined by the inputs and what you choose to focus on. All right, so 10x growth comes from simplification, not addition. So you don't want to add on things. You want to make the system more simple, not complex, remove the bottlenecks, and amplify more of what already works. So 20% of things that's going to get you 80% of revenue. If you guys just take that, I promise you guys are going to be like off to the races. Okay, you're going to, again, this is literally what we did to go from 10x from being able to make 100K net in our agency because I focused on the key things that was going to remove bottlenecks and allow us to scale. Listen, you cannot identify the bottlenecks unless you are clear on your numbers. Your numbers are what dictates the bottlenecks. A lot of you guys will come to, ask me questions on DMs and say, hey, like, what do I do to scale the agency? It's all relevant. it's all relevant towards you. I can't tell you what to do. Like, you have to base it off your numbers. And you can't base it off your numbers if you don't have your numbers, right? You might have a killer close rate, but your show rate is the issue. But you don't know that unless you actually track numbers. And so in order to identify your biggest bottleneck, because there's only like one or two big bottlenecks that you need to solve in a given time. And this is our job as a CEO, as a guy that's leading the company. You need to find out what are the things that you need to focus on that's going to give you the biggest output. And there's always going to be constraints. And so for us, let's say, for example, we break it down: marketing bottlenecks, sales bottlenecks, and operation bottlenecks, which is basically product. And so if I were to look at marketing, all right, if it's marketing, it's, what's the ad creative, the targeting? Is the CAC too high? If it's sales, then it's show rate, pitch rate, close rate, right? If it's operations, is the team not executing enough? Are things getting stuck? Are clients not getting results? Right? I have to look at where's the biggest drop off based off of percentages and numbers, right? For example, for product, one of the things that we're doing is that we're tracking all the closes that our clients get. And like very quickly, we can look at number of closes, how much they spent, what was their CAC, right? Number of leads that they're getting, number of appointments that they're getting, cost per appointment, cost per lead. And then we can see the show rate, number of shows, and then number of closes. From there, I can go to a client confidently and say, hey, just focus on getting your booking rate from 20% to 40%. If you do that, you're going to 2x your output. So I need you and your team to focus on getting that booking rate higher and getting it from 20% to 40%. If you do that, you put your team on it, it's going to be the biggest thing that you can do this week to work on a higher output. And so instead of trying to do 100 different things, closing, show rates, all that, no, it's fine. Keep all of that the same. Work on the booking rate. And then just like that, if they just focus their time and energy on the constraint and identify it, then they're able to have a 2x output, right? Like, a lot of my time right now is being spent like reviewing sales calls. So maybe, that's not a 10x thing, right? That's not the exponential thing. Like, me reviewing more sales calls is probably going to get a 2x, right? And I have to look at, is closing the biggest bottleneck? If it's not, then me reviewing calls every single day just to review them, which is important, but it's not my 10x thing. And so I can hire somebody to do that, right? I can hire somebody to do that or delegate it out. So to summarize, if you guys want to 10x your agency, right? And we're talking about profit, right? Not revenue, profit. You guys really want to profit more in your agency. You have to look at every single week, what is your biggest constraint, right? What can you do to fix that constraint? And first, you have to identify the constraints, get the numbers, get the data, everything. I'm talking cost per lead, cost per appointment. I'm looking at number of leads that you get, number of touch points that you get, number of conversations that you have, right? Number of pitches that you have, number of scheduled calls in your calendar, right? You have 5 calls, you have 3 calls, you have 10 calls, right? Then look at show rate, right? And then look at pitches, right? Qualified calls and then pitches, and then offers, and then closes, deposits, cash collected. What was your return on investment? If you're running ads, what was your cost per click? Cost per qualified lead, cost per qualified book call, show rate on paid ads. And then those are your numbers, right? From there, first you need to lay that all out. Use a spreadsheet, use a Google Doc, whatever you have to do to get it done. Lay that entire thing out. Then once you get the data, you put in the numbers. Then from there, you'll have an idea of what your constraint is, right? And every single day and every single week, you should look at that constraint. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving you guys what I'm doing right now. I can't tell you what anyone else does. I can just tell you, this is what I'm doing to scale to 300K a month. This is just going to be the biggest thing I do, growing the company. Okay, this is it. So once I have all that data, then I'm going to look at the data and I'm going to look at what can be moved the most to get the highest output. So that is what I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at why is this not like funneling through, right? It should be like a pipe that just water goes through and comes out. And if for whatever reason, the output, let's say for sales and marketing, our output is going to be new clients, right? And cash collected, new cash that we're collecting. So if we're not hitting our targets of 20 new clients and 100K new cash, something in the system's not working, whether it be the ads, the marketing, the cost per lead, maybe it's the opt-in rate with the landing pages, maybe there's a lot of different things, right? The hook, the offer, maybe the offer's not landing, maybe the show rate's terrible, maybe the booking rate's terrible, our setting process is bad, right? There's going to be things in that process that you can identify, that you have to identify with data, not I feel like it's this or I feel like it's that. I can't tell you how many people just feel like it's a problem and it's not the problem. You got to look at the data, all right? Or else you're working on the wrong thing. You're working on the wrong thing every single week. And then you look back and you ask why you haven't been able to grow. If you're not growing that month after month, which we haven't grown in the past 2-3 months, and it's frustrating, but it's because we weren't focused on a leadership level of what was the most important thing to solve. And now that we're focusing, the ball's moving. We're going to sign on 20 new clients in a month. We're going to grow the company. And I just need to make sure that I, not only myself, but this is where leadership comes in place. Is everyone that's a high A player, which should be everybody on the team, needs to think in this way. And when we're all moving in alignment with that focus and I'm working on high output with really good input, then we grow the company. And that's our plan to get to 100K a month. And we're on track. All right. So we're not on track. I'm sorry. We still have a long way to go. But month of February, again, February 11th, and we did 9K, 7K, we did 16K, 16K coming to our bank. So not too bad. Not too shabby. Still have a lot of work to do. Tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to break down more numbers and show you guys what we did last week, as well as where we're at for week to date. But that is basically it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.